Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. Today is the Sunday morning and we'll be discussing about the Yoga Vasistha. And today mainly we'll be discussing about how the mind become no mind. That is a very special teaching of the Vedanta, and here the Rishi Vasistha is giving to Sri Ramachandra. Before that, as usual, let us begin with this mantra. Dikkaladi anabachinna ananta chinmatra murtaye svanubhuti ekamanaya nama shantaya tejase. Dikkal adi. Dik means the directions. The moment we think about different directions, north, south, east, west, upper, lower, that means we are differentiating. So, dikkaladi, anabachinna, undivided. Kala means the time, adi, etc. The kala, adi, dika, anabachinna. What is that? Chinmatra murtaye is the embodiment of the consciousness. How it is ananta, infinite. And how it is possible to understand? Swanubhuti ekamanaya. Only through the self-realization I bow down to that tejase, that Brahman. So, this is the Vedanta that we are studying, and in the Vedanta, ultimate is the Brahman. So, sometimes some devotees, some people, they make a confusion. They say, then who is God? As a God is a different conception. It is also as true as the Brahman, but the approach is from the dualistic point of view. When the dualist, they are thinking in that way, then it is all right. When the Advaitin, they think their goal is the Vedanta. When the yogis, they try to reach, they will say our goal is the self, the Atman. So, this Bhagavan, the Atman, the Brahman, there is a different name, the different people they gave as their own goal, but ultimately this is all going to, as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, going to the same goal. And what is that? One all-pervading consciousness. One all-pervading consciousness. I was just listening to the classes about the Taoism as a philosophy of the China. So, they are also the same conception. The Taoism and the Sufism and the Hinduism and all that ism that we talk about, the philosophy, they take us to the only one goal, that which is the ultimate of everything. Now, here we are discussing from the point of view of the pure Advaitic Vedanta. The Vedanta, Vedanta, but it has three different schools. But when we say the Advaitic, there is no duality. Advaita, no duality. So, in our last discourse, we quoted from the Mandukya Karika that when our minds get identified with Brahman, that time mind becomes no mind. Mana amana bhavati. The mind, that activity of the mind, what is that? What are the activities? The mind actually working through different sense organs, and these 5 sense organs that a human being is having, and it goes out to the 5 different sense objects and get the information, bring it back, give to the mind, and that is the food of the mind. And mind is very happy having those food. And it goes on imagining, playing, creating, destroying. That is the mind. And because that mind is associated with some individual body, so we call it a person. and that person is affected by that particular mind. So this is really, really very, very peculiar. Suppose you go to a place where there are many people who are insane, mad. And when you go to that place, all around you, the people, the male, female, children, elderly people, they are in their own world. When you are passing through them, they won't look at you. They are talking, they are laughing, and they are enjoying their whole imagination in their own world. And sometimes then the people, they go over there, they think, oh my God, where have I come? I will become mad if I stay here for a long time. All other people, they have their own world, and they're enjoying that. There is no problem for them. When we are thinking that we are sane people, normal people, thinking about our world, those people whom we call as mad, they look at us and think, oh, these people have gone mad. Look at them. They're running for money, running for this, running for that. What they are doing, they don't know. They are thinking in that way. When they look at us, they think in that way. When we look at them, we think in that way. And there is another group, the third group. They are looking at us from both. Oh, all are insane. These people are thinking only one, and look at these people, they are thinking about the worldly objects. They are considered as the rishis, the mahapurushas, and the higher souls, holy souls. For many of us, these higher souls, these holy souls are mad. Why? They only talk about God. Then where is the conclusion? Where we are going? Each and everyone is thinking, I am the only person right, all others are mad. That proves we create our own world. We think in our own way. So this is the way the world goes. So we have to understand this. Mana, amana bhavati. Now, the three different type of activities of the same mind. Individual mind, thinking of good, bad, sometimes happiness, sometimes misery, sometimes friend, sometimes foes, and that way it goes on. And it is very, very prominently we can see if we observe an insane person. Continuously he is going on talking with some people. Sometimes he is angry, he is going chasing and to fight with them. Sometimes he is trying to save his own little thing, whatever he was having. But to him it is the complete world, and he can see his enemy, he can find that the people are coming to snatch the things from him, though there is no one. There are another people, they think, oh, that I am a very thoughtful person. I have seen God, and now it is everything is all right for me. And when I think that I have seen God and I can help you to take you to God, and then slowly, slowly I create a world, many people they come, they also start accepting your views, and very peculiar type of lifestyle they develop. And they think they are all practicing spirituality. Sometimes they will be the nude, naked, sometimes practicing this way, sometimes practicing that way, and all of them they are thinking, they are taking not only himself going to God or already reached God, they are taking others also towards God. Sometimes in the name of the religion they will say, go and kill the innocent people, and the women, the children, the elderly people, all kill them, and God will be so happy. Things are happening all around us. But why? Because of the mind. Because the mind, we are thinking and we are creating the world. Friends, those who are following this class, you may remember the Our Vasistha, he asked the Brahma, "Sir, how do you create?" Then the Brahma told, "Don't talk about it. I am thoroughly confused." You know what happened? When after the completion of the whole circle, I was meditating, and then I woke up to create another creation, and in my meditation I found there are so many creations are there. I told, who has created this? The creation that I created, now it has been dissolved, and I am the person who is going to create another. Now how come all these creations are there with sun, moon, air, everything? Then he meditated and found that the story, you must have followed that in our last lecture, it is there, that Shiva blessed a couple, they got 10 sons, those sons they decided to become the creator. Shiva told, okay, create. And they are creating. Now 10 different creators creating the universe, and what the Brahma will do? The Brahma got confused. Then he was asking the son, from one of the creation, he asked one son, "Would you please help me?" As because the sun can see everything, he is the light and he is the knowledge. So says Brahma asked the son, "Can you please tell me what is this happening?" The son told this. Then what happened in the last, we will, at the end of this talk, we will come to that. Here, let us go to, once again, to the subject which is mind. According to Vedanta, mind is Sankalpa, Vikalpa, Atmika. Though we say the English word mind, and we have a conception, this is the mind. And the psychology also gives some definition, this is the mind. But the Vedanta, very clearly it says, this is the Sankalpa and Vikalpa. Sankalpa means taking the decision, Vikalpa can't take the decision. So it goes, dwindle like this. That particular portion of the condition is called mind. Sankalpa, Vikalpa, Atmika, Manaha. And there is another, immediately attached to that, it takes decision. And it says mind. And what is that mind? Nishchayatmika buddhi. The buddhi, there is also mind, but that is very, very important part of the mind. That takes the decision. In the administration, when the president is taking the decision, all others are there, but they only can suggest. But the decision in the hands of the president, and when he is signing, that is becoming the law, and the millions are bound by that. So who is taking the decision? Buddhi. So buddhi is very important in an individual and also in the collective. Those who are very intelligent, they can take decision properly and they can understand things clearly. They become very popular and respected in the human society. So what is this buddhi? Faculty that can take decision. What is mana in Sanskrit? The faculty which cannot take decision, only can go on thinking, shall I take this or shall I not? So in that condition is the mana. I won't say mind, mind is the totality. So mana, buddhi. Another thing is there, the storehouse. In every house there is a store. They will be keeping all things over there. Here in the body, which is also is a palace. It's not a house, it is a palace. And it has 9 doors and so many other things. So it is a palace. And in that, there must be a store. What is that store? That is called antakarana, mana, buddhi, chitta. That is called chitta. Chitta is the storehouse of all the impressions of the mind. And total is called antakarana, and all is active because of the ego. And where from the ego comes? Many times I said, and the students of Vedanta, you all know, It is the reflection of the original consciousness. I repeat, reflection, not original. Reflection of the original consciousness on buddhi. So that is the whole thing. Now, in total mind is taking decision, mind is cognizing, mind is going and collecting the information, and mind is creating the world. So we know 3 different types of worlds are there. Insane's world, so-called normal people's world, and spiritual people's world. All are thinking, all are human beings, all are having the individual mind. But there are 3 different types. So this is the way one goes. Now suppose someone came to Ma Sharadamani Devi and they told, Mother, my daughter is not getting married, now she is 13 years. In those days in our country, the 13 years means the daughter should be married. After 15, now or there cannot be. So like that they used to think in those days. Ma Sharadamani Devi told, why do you worry about that? Send her to Nivedita school. Let her get the education. Let her grow in her own way. And if she wants to marry, she can marry afterwards. The one mother is thinking about her own daughter. Unless she is married to a person, then her life will be ruined. Another thought, another mother, she is thinking, why not give her education and she can stand on her own feet, she can take her own decision, let her be free. So both are thinking. Now suppose there was another lady and she was completely mad, people used to call her as mad, and that people used to, in the Ramakrishna tradition, the Pagli Mami, so they said, the maternal, the auntie, as she was mad, and she is a very famous character in the Ramakrishna in the life. She will say completely different thing. Oh, that lady, it is not her daughter and she has kidnapped this lady. No. Thoroughly confusing. Now, the mother, her own daughter, she came to a consult about one lady, she is thinking that it is not her own daughter, is kidnapped or something like that. And another lady, she is thinking, why not give her the freedom? 3 different thoughts, 3 different minds from 3 different aspects. So what is mind then? Whatever we think, are we not creating our own world? We are. We are creating our own world. Sometimes some people, they come to me, Swamiji, that this is happening, that is. I told, why you think in this way? Why can't you think in this way? So my thinking and his thinking or their thinking are not, because we are creating our own world, and that is the mind. So every individual mind is creating its own world. Based on that, we have to move and we have to control this mind. We have to change this mind as a completely no mind. Mana amana bhavati, and that is the Vedanta. And so powerful, this mind. And we have to overcome this mind. And this process, how we are going to control with the help of this mind. Again, there is no other thing, because the mind is the only instrument. And this instrument we have to rectify with the help of the advice of the Guru and the scripture. We have to go on slowly, slowly detaching from our thought process, our own mind, and another thought process should come. Now why? Because we have noticed the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Lord Jesus Christ, that then many other the divine personalities, whatever they have said, that has come to true. So, three different categories. One, we think that they are insane. Another, we think we are normal. Third, they think and we also think that they are super spatial type of mind, spiritual mind. Now, we are going to accept the spiritual mind. Why? Because whatever they have realized, they have given us to follow, and that is Shastra, that is scripture. They realize that there is only one consciousness. They realize that this world that we see, with the 5 different organs we taste, we see, we smell, we touch, but that is in reality is not there, it is our imagination. And if we can overcome that, we get the target that we are constantly, knowingly, unknowingly pursuing, that is the bliss, that is the joy, that is the happiness, that is the eternity. So, keeping that in mind, now we are going towards the advice of these people who are spiritual people. And what they say that instructions of the scripture and the guidance of the Guru, if one can make strong resolution and merged in Brahman, then worldly resolution cannot disturb the mind, and the stillness of the mind is going to have, and that is known as amana. Now, we have to, by this time we have understood the problem of the mind. Now, we have to still the mind, non-functional. How it is possible? Now, we know how the mind is functioning. What is the source of its energy? We are cutting down those sources. The supply line should be completely snapped off, and the enemy will be automatically weak. At this moment, our enemy is our mind. Why? This mind is taking us to the worldly things and creating different problems. So, that is why what we should do, we should cut off the supply line. What are the supply line? Objects. Rupa, Rasha, Shabda, Sparsha and Gandha. So, Rupa, we will see only the divine Rupa, the God, and nothing else. I am not going to think anything else but the God, that is called Rupa. I must see. I cannot close my eyes and sit like that. Even in my imagination also I like to see. What I will see? Only God. That is the Rupa. Rasa. What is that rasa? I should only partake the prasada that has already been offered to God and it has become purified. Shabda. Only the name of God that I should hear. So, like that, all those I am changing. So, I have to give something. Otherwise, how the mind will function? Lord Buddha, he stopped all those physically in the beginning of the tapasya. He was practicing austerity and he stopped eating, not even the drinking a drop of water. Then afterwards he became very weak, because the mind is associated with the body, and if the body becomes weak, mind becomes weak, and we have to control the mind. How can you control when the mind is dying? That is not the situation. So, normal food, everything should be there, only attitude should be changed. That is why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, Mod firiye dao. In Bengali he said, Mod firiye dao. Turn the attitude. The force is there. We are eating the food, but before that we are offering to God, and then you are thinking as if we are eating very holy, consecrated food, and that is nourishing our body. The drink, the same way. Thinking the God, imagining the God. So, this way, whatever. So, what is this? Resolution. I am taking the oath. And for that you need a strong mind. Now, from today, I am going to get up early morning, doing this, doing that. So that is the resolution. Your mind will fight back. It won't allow you. And it will say, no, this is not necessary for every time. You are tired, you worked for late night, so don't get up. Like that, the mind will also go on fight, because mind wants to control you. And this is very difficult. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Freedom is the song of the soul, as Swami Vivekananda said. What is that freedom? I am the master of my own mind. That is the freedom. What is that Buddhahood? Nothing but the mastering over the own mind. That is the Buddhahood. So we have to take the resolution. The mind is already having different type of thoughts. Now we have to say, no, we are not going to follow. Whatever I say, you must do that. Controlling that. We experience the mind during the waking and the dream state. Now another, the Vedantic resolution. Now we can become mindless. Mana amana bhavati, that is our goal. We have to make our mind completely without mind, non-functional mind. So is it possible? The Vedanta says, yes, of course, why not? Every day you are experiencing that. What is that? It says, when the mind is there in the waking stage, like now, I am talking, you are listening, and all these things are happening all around, and that is called the waking stage. We all know. And then another is a dream stage. Each and every one experiencing the dream. And the dream cannot be without mind. When the body is not functional, body is just lying over there, and you do not know what is happening to the body. Sometimes the hand goes under the body, or your own body, and then in the morning you get up and say, oh my God, so much pain in the left hand. What happened? So the doctor will say, perhaps you were sleeping like this. There's nothing, it will be all right after some time, like that. Sometimes we feel pain in the neck, we change the pillow. Why? That time when we are having the pain, we couldn't feel that, we couldn't control, because no consciousness, the body consciousness. Remember that when we are sleeping and dreaming, we forget this beloved body. So much we do for this body. But even then, we ourselves forget this body at the time of dream. So this is natural. Everybody is experiencing that. This is one thing. So the waking stage, mind is there. Dream stage, mind is there, body is not there. Another stage about which the Vedanta student, they all know, and that goes without dream, the sleep without dream. And that is the condition that's called third stage, where mind is completely absent. How do you know mind is absent? Because we are not dreaming and we are not thinking. No thought process or nothing is there. That means mind is absent. Without mind also we are surviving. We always think if the mind is not there, then how can we survive? Without mind also we are surviving. Not only that, that is the most peaceful time in our life, when mind is completely still. So mana, amana condition, the mind when there is no mind, that means when the mind is completely controlled and no function is going on, that is the most blissful time in the human life. That is the experience. So those people, the third group, the spiritual mind, they say, you better try to reach over there. And they are our gurus. They are the scriptures. So they are asking us to go. So it is not that just imagining and we are trying to do. After the experiment, completely knowing, consciously understanding things properly, we are trying to go to the condition that's called amana. Guru Vasistha is trying to teach his disciple Sri Rama, and he is telling, addressing him, O Raghava, is from the clan of the Raghu, O Raghava, asamyak darshanam yat syat, anatmatmani atmabhavanam, abastuni bastutvam tat, mana biddhi Raghava. Raghava, unreal thing, unreal, abastuni bastutvam, real object. There is nothing, but still we are imagining and thinking it is there. Now, O descendant of the Raghu, Raghava, know that to be the mind which takes the non-self, anatmani, as the self and real, atmabhavanam. Now, I am thinking this world is real. And from when I was born and growing up, constantly all around me, right from my parents, each and every one, they went on telling that, oh, you should grow up, you should learn, you should get the education, you should do this, you should do that. The whole world became, and I know that I have some objects, I have to achieve some certificate, get a job, then I must marry, then I must settle, because all around people are doing. And then ultimately when I complete all those things and I get retired, then also some people will tell, do you have money, sir, after retirement? Like, yes, some money. Then come and I will take you on the beach of the ocean. Oh, you do not know, it's a beautiful ocean. And thereafter your money. So they will take you then on the beach and you are going over there. This is all happening and we are thinking we are enjoying our life. Are you? Actually, you are just passing your time. You are not enjoying at all. And you are tired after that. So this we have to understand. So the Vasistha is telling Sri Rama, Rama, our mind, it takes only non-thing as a thing, non-object as an object, non-atman as an atman. Atman means the consciousness. They are not conscious, but we think they are conscious. Like the children, when they play with the dolls, particularly little girls, they'll be playing with the dolls, they'll be talking with them. I have seen, and I saw that they are playing, and they are asking the dolls, wait, I am cooking. Don't cry, I will give you food. We can't see anyone is crying, but she can see that somebody is crying and she is just heard from the mother, how the mother is saying, same thing she is telling, not that just repeating, but she can see in her own eyes that the doll is crying and asking for food, and she is telling the doll, wait, I am cooking. Whole thing is so real to her, but completely unreality to you, to me, the grown-up person. Why? Simultaneously two things are happening. Same way, when we are thinking this world is true, so real to us, then another person sitting over there, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he said, if I knew this world is real, I would have covered my birthplace with gold. That capacity I was having. All Ashtasiddhis were in the control of Sri Ramakrishna. But he said, I found it is all empty, it is nothing. That is exactly the teaching the Vasistha is giving to his disciple, that this is all imagination. It is mind alone which imagines false objects as real. False objects as real. Then sometimes, suppose you have seen a horror movie, and then you will find every corner of your house are filled with all those, the ghost. Because the horror movie that you have seen, and particularly if you are late night movie you have seen, then it will be so difficult for you to sleep on the same bed where you have slept for last 20 years. Same room where you are living for last 20 years. Now it becomes, oh no, I should put on the light then because I don't know. Then all the 20 years No ghost was there in your room. Then suddenly, when you watch that movie, how the ghost came into your room. Is it not your imagination? It is. And who is imagining? Me. And who is afraid of it? Me. Why? Because my imagination has become so true to me. So that is the world. This is the Vedantic way of explaining the world. Everything that we see is just like that. I am imagining that this person is a good, it becomes good. I am imagining that person is bad, it becomes bad. That's why one should be very, very careful. Otherwise, it is very difficult. The bondage and liberation are both imagined by the mind. Manasa kalpate bandho, manaste naiva kalpate. Vivek Chudamani, 174 words, the Shankaracharya, he is also telling the same. The manasha kalpate, the mind is imagining, and that imagination is binding us, bandho. And the manasha stena eva kalpate mukti. Moksha stena eva. Moksha, liberation, same way we are thinking. Where from the liberation? Nobody has bound me. I am thinking that I am bound. Then afterwards I am thinking, oh, I am now free. It's all imagination. If I think that no, I am enjoying, you are enjoying that same place. And that is also kalpate, that is also kalpana. So each and everything is nothing but the mind. One who is eager and sincere to get liberation from this world, which is in reality illusory, must be careful about the mind, because Guru Vasistha is telling, Mano hi jagatam katri, mano hi purusha smritaha, mana kritam kritam loke, na sharira kritam kritam, is the 8th verse of the Yog Vasistha. It says that Mano hi jagatam katri, mind is the creator of the world. Now, this half an hour, a little more time that we are discussing, we understand that I am creating my own world. Mano hi jagatam katri, I am creating my own world. Mano hi purusha smritaha, and the mind is that mind is considered as the soul. What is that mind? In the beginning itself we discussed. It is a reflection of the pure consciousness on the buddhi. That is the mind. That is the I sense. That is the ego. And I think that is consciousness. Of course it is, but reflected. Now, if the sun is reflecting on a water, that is also sun, but the reflection, not the real sun. If it breaks, nothing happens to the original. The same way, our consciousness, which is nothing but the reflection. Now the moon is giving light in the night. Sometimes it is dark night. Why? For the reason it is not getting the light of the sun. There is a dark night. And we think, oh, if the moon was there, that would have been so good. Those who are living inside the jungle, their only source of light is the moonlight. So they will be praying to the moon, please come, please give us the light. And sometimes the moon will also may think, oh, I am giving the light to all these people. Is this the moon that is giving the light? It is not. It is the sunlight reflecting on the moon and it is coming to the earth. This is the science. The same way we are thinking, I am so proud of my intellect, of my wealth, of my beauty, of my other power. And who are you? Nothing but the reflection. If suddenly that original things goes away, then gone. So this is the only way to understand, and the first step of understanding it, humbleness. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, the more you become humble, when your ego goes away, then you can understand it better. Why it is the ego that is separating me from God. When that ego becomes less and less, and more the original light will reveal, oh yes, I belong to that. It is not this light that is reflecting on me. It is not me. So by that way, so what is the symbol that we are progressing towards the spiritual life? Growing the beard for the male people? No. Or these or that? No. Less ego. If you see a person without ego, nirahamkari, there's the word, nirahamkari, that he is not having the ego. That means he is having the reflection more clearly, and it is becoming revealing that. So this ego, so who is creating the world? My mind. And what is this mind? The reflection of the consciousness, which I am by mistake thinking the original. Manakrita kritam loke. When the mind is thinking, that is really doing. Na sharira kritam kritam. Na sharira kritam kritam. Now different type of political theories are there. Now one, Mr. Karl Marx, he wrote a book, Das Kapital, and that actually made a great effect in different parts of the world, particularly Soviet Russia, and the people over there, they accepted the book as their Bible, and then they were following. The person who wrote, he was sitting in the London, in the library. He was not affected by that, but his manakritam, because he created out of his own mind, that influenced thousands of people. And they were doing it physically, but the credit was going to the writer, the philosopher. So this is the way monakrita kritam loke. Sometimes I am sitting without doing anything, but going on thinking very nasty thing. You are getting all those effect of the nasty thing, though you are not physically doing. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is said that if you are controlling your physical, all these hands and legs and all that, but mentally thinking, then you are actually doing that. Effect will be either good or bad. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, if you can send out the positive thoughts, it will break the wall of the stone wall and can go and reach every corner of the world and help the people, inspire people. Manakrita kritam loke. Not that physically all the time we have to go and do. If possible, those who can. That's why the great holy people, we like to try to keep their body. They should leave. What do? They only meditate. They only send out all the positive thoughts. Let everyone be happy everywhere. Let everyone be thinking in a positive way. And that thoughts goes and touches millions of people. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was born in a small village. Nobody knew the name of the village. And from there now, without the help of any king or the business community, only a few handful of humble sannyasins, they now went all the corners of the world, each and every place. And so many languages they have translated that book. They are reading of their own. Not that the Ramakrishna sannyasins are all the time taking the initiative to translate. Local people, somehow they came to know. They heard the talk. Then they got inspired. They translated in their own languages. And so many languages, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, all their thoughts. Why? Manakritam. They have given through the mind the inspiration And that is reaching out to the mind, and that's why the people are human being, are still human being, because of this positive thought. Otherwise, there is no difference between the animals and the human. That physical urges, that hunger, that anger, all those things are present. Only dharma. What is that dharma? That's my commitment. The human mind, the moment they heard that I have committed, so I must stick to my commitment, stick to the whatever oath that I have taken, I must follow that. That becomes real perfect human being. After taking the oath, promises, if the human being is breaking that, then the whole human society is denouncing that person. Oh no, you are not a proper, correct person. So that is how it is possible when we understand this type of spiritual knowledge. So I am speaking about the high spiritual value, but in between, when we are not prepared that much, at least we can understand I should not become mad if I am not achieving something in this world. The God has given me life, God is protecting me and I am surviving. There must be something waiting for me which I will surely achieve. Let me wait and try for that. Just because I failed in an exam, and some of the students, they go and commit suicide, all around people, even the parents, oh, what you have done. What? Every year, millions and millions, their students are passing out from the universities. What happened? It is not like that. We have to teach the students, the children, that the goal is to become happy. And happiness depends on your mind. So learn to think positively and everything will be in your favor, and by that way you will be happy. For a human being, mind is the most important. Body and the limbs just follow the mind's orders. In Amrita Bindu Upanishad, there is a minor Upanishad, Amrita Bindu Upanishad, and it very nicely depicts this. Mono eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshaya. Baddhaya vishaya shaktam mukto nirvishayam smritam. Now the bondage and liberation in spiritual bondage. It's not political or other. Spiritual bondage. What is the spiritual bondage? That we are discussing, this world is temporary, still I am trying to get that, and I am trying every way but not getting the peace by that way. So this is going on. Now who is thinking? Me. And who is suffering? Me. Now just turn it. I am very happy. You will become happy. So that is the way mana eva manushyanam, the human is bound because of the mind. And bound to what? To the worldly objects. So what is binding us? Our desires. Now we know what is actually binding us. It is the desire. With what it is binding me? With the object. And what is that object? These worldly things. Name, fame, prosperity and all those things. Now everything is temporary. Why should I run after that? Whatever comes on the way, it is okay. If I think in that way, I can enjoy my life. So say, Baddhaya Vishaya Shakta. Those who are suffering because they are attached to that object. I have seen so many people, from the countries, the many countries in the world. America is a great place. They all try to come to America because the freedom is there, opportunities are there, etc., etc. They come, they struggle, they settle, and they get everything that they were thinking they will be happy, but still I found, I am sorry to say, many of them are not at all happy. Living in the great cities, having a car, having a bungalow, having a nice family, even then they are not happy. Why? Then what can make you happy? Now, if I become the President of America, perhaps I will be happy. Go and talk to the retired presidents. There are many. Sir, are you happy now? And I am not going to disclose it, just the man to man. You will find they are not happy. Go and talk to them and we can see them. Then what can make you happy? The achievement in this worldly life, it proves cannot make you happy. Then what can make you happy? You, only your mind. If you think, I am very happy. Suppose you have got only one bread and nothing else. Then you thank the God. God, there are many who are not getting even this piece. You have given at least a piece of bread to me, and after eating it, a glass of water, I can go to bed and sleep. There will be millions who are so hungry. I am blessed that you have protected me. Am I not happy with that? So always if we think in that way, whatever I have achieved is a great achievement and I am happy. Your mind will help you to get that achievement. Desire is like the oil. The more you go on putting in the fire, it goes on burning and burning. So that is the reason. So you have to stop. If a lamp is burning, and if you put the oil into that, lamp will go on burning. So you have to put off that only supply of the oil. Automatically it will be off. It will dry. So don't give all the supply all the time to the desire, to the mind. What is required, that much is sufficient. And you will find that the mana amana bhavati, mind will become no mind. Hence, O Rama, Rishi Vasistha is telling, make your mind completely free from desire. Now, how the Rama is asking? It is okay. I have understood. The mind should be free from desire, and that is the condition of amana, non-mind. Mind becomes no mind. But how? Here, immediately the Vasistha is telling, tasmat nirvasani bhavam ahara ashu vivekataha. Tasmat, therefore, nirvasani bhavam, the discrimination, ahara ashu vivekataha. Vivekataha, the discrimination, and nirvasana, I don't have any desire. How it is possible? Vivekata. What is the viveka? Discrimination. What is the discrimination? Suppose I am trying to get it and I don't get it. Am I going to die for that? No, I will be surviving. Then why unnecessarily I am just killing myself? I should not. So this is the way always the people, something happened in the family life and they were separated, husband and wife were separated, and after some time I found that husband has grown beard and long hair, and he was a scientist, he was so nice person, and then maybe he is drinking too much. I told, by doing this, do you think that the lady for whom you are doing, she will suffer? I don't think. So rather, she will think, oh my God, is the ghostly person, it is good that I am away from him. So that way, why unnecessarily you are giving yourself pain? One doctor in London, he came to Calcutta, I was that time very young, a brahmachari. He was sending the same book of Swami Vivekananda's Ma to the same address in London. Then one day, after 2-3 days, I told, sir, let me ask you one question. If you want to send this many volumes, this many copies to the same address, we can send in one packet. Why you are unnecessarily paying so much of postage? It will, no, sir, it is not like that. This has happened. Then I married from India, then I took my wife deserted me. I am feeling so frustrated. Now I don't like to go to London, I like to be here. Atul, do you think that as because you are living in Calcutta and in this condition, and you are sending this book and that lady will read the book, her mind will be changed and she will come? Why you are thinking in this way? Only 6 months before you got married, and after 6 months you are ruining your life? Discrimination. I was living that life, I tried this life, now it is okay, it didn't click, okay, no problem. Not that every cup is my cup, okay, this cup is not for me. I will be living in this way. So decide in that and be happy. Life is short and you should not make it and so problematic for you. Tasmat nirvasani bhavam ahara ashu vivekataha. Therefore, O Rama, with the help of discrimination, clear your mind from desire. And along with that it says, hate all desires as evil spirits. Yatha abralekha shashinam. Abralekha means the clouds. As the clouds are staining the moon, yatha sudhalepanam masi yatha, and the black ink, mashi, the black ink is marking the on the white wall. The same way, dushayati evam anta narama asha pishachika. Asha, now the Rishi is telling, is the pishachika, is the demon. As the cloud is the mark on the moon, as the ink is creating mark on the white wall, and similarly your mind, which is so pure, is getting marked, defamed by your own desire. So be careful about it. So with that it goes. And this is the one way. Second way, how to control? He said, to make the mind, the Guru Vasistha is telling, if the mind do not get any object, it will dry up like the grasses under the scorching sun. By that way also you can control. He says, anta mukhataya sarvam chid bannau tri jagat trinam yuhata anta nirveta rama chitta adi bibhrama. So two different ways. One is from the path of knowledge, another from the path of yoga. Friends, we will discuss this in our next class. So up to this, the topic that we are discussing, to make the mind no mind. What is that mind? Imagination. What we are imagining, as we have already discussed, different people imagining in a different way. And how to control that imagination? With the help of the teachings of the super minds. And they are spiritual minds. They have realized the world and they have analyzed the mind. Now they are asking, you better stop supplying the food to your mind. What are the foods? These objects. And to stop that, you use your own discriminative capacity of the mind. Next time, next Sunday, again we will discuss. So if there is any question, let us try to answer.
The first question is from Amal. He is asking why human body feel death agony at the time of death.
Amal, body doesn't feel anything, you know. So we feel in the mind only. Otherwise, when the mind, which is the Sukshma Sharira, next class we will be discussing about, there is another body in the body that the Vedanta says. I am not talking about the medical science. It is the Vedantic view that there is a subtle body and the mind belongs to the subtle body, and the mind only suffers, not the body. Body is just like the wood or stone. That's why when you are burning the body, body is not getting up and shouting, hey, this is too much work. Why this is fire? So body is nothing. Body is not suffering, it is the mind. So when we discuss in the next class, and we will be discussing about the gross body and the subtle body, the Sukshma Sharira.
Tuin is asking the next question. Since God is formless, how can I realize or feel God in form or rupa?
See, this question has been answered by Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna very wonderfully. Thousands of years, our religious people, they were fighting. One group, they said, God cannot have the form. The Islam, Christianity, they all told God, and Hindus also, God cannot have the form. They are Vedantin. And they said, God cannot have the form, so there should not be any form. And some people told, without form, we cannot imagine anything. So let us have some forms. And that is the reason you will find those very strong who are thinking that there should not be any form, they have the symbols. There's some symbols they will be keeping, on that only they are concentrating. So the Hindus, they told, instead of symbol, why not the images, the beautiful image of Lord Krishna, very smiling face, or the Rama and the bright face, or the goddess Durga. So we take the help of the images to concentrate our mind. How it is possible? Are we actually cheating our own mind? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said no. Have you not noticed that the water, which is not having any form, becomes, when it is too cold in that region, becomes the ice, and that is the form of the water. Again, when the sun is rising, because of the strong, that scorching sun, and that ice is becoming melting and again becoming water. So that the formless can take the form when the devotee wants, and the same form can melt when again the jnani wants to formless. So this is, you can imagine God. That's why Hindus have allowed so many crores of gods and goddesses. Just imagine any god, any form, that is up to you. But in reality, God is consciousness, all pervading. But in practical way, if we have a God before me in form, it helps me. That's all.
Devashish is asking the next question. As everything in life is temporary except God, in any particular situation in life when we are facing challenges, by saying the same thing, all are temporary, can we control our anger?
Yes, that is true. But that you should, that there are called swadharma, as because there is the ultimate thing is there. But the ultimate, that is, and below there is a practical thing that is happening all around. At this moment, what should I do? Now, as an example, and you must be knowing, the God is in different forms, and He is also present in a tiger form. That is true, ultimate true. But it doesn't mean that I should go and embrace the tiger. Because in the practical way, you should not. So, Vyavaharika, they say in the Sanskrit. Now, in the Vyavaharika, when you are handling that very moment, you should do which is really good for you, which is really good for that particular situation. You must do that. That is religion. So, that is the thing. When the one of our Swamiji was speaking, the same question came, and someone asked, if the burglars come to my room and my house, am I going to worship him? Then the Swami told, of course you should worship by calling 911. In America, there's the police will come. So 911, just give a call, within a minute police will come. So we must go. So according to the situation you have to do. So the Vyavaharika, that you must remember. The situation that you are facing, how to control the situation, to overcome that situation, you must think properly or consult with your friends and do that. And that is religion. Thank you.
The next question is from Tanya. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the thought while dying is predominates in next birth of person. If a person is unconscious, then what will happen to him?
Oh, Tanya, the same thing. When we become unconscious, this is the outwardly. But there is, as I was telling, we'll be discussing that in the next class. The Sukshma Sharira, that is full consciousness is there. The mind is active there, and mind gets all the impression over there. And whatever the thoughts and the actions that we have done, it goes and collected in that, in the mind, and it says, okay, now this body goes away, and now I take those impressions and go. And this is the Sukshma Sharira. That is, sometimes we call it as a soul, that goes to different body, changes the body. Maybe that in next class we will discuss that.
Well, lots of devotees are asking if you are keeping good health during pandemic.
Thank you for asking that, and you're so kind. By the grace of Thakur and Ma, I'm keeping fine, I'm all right. And all our devotees all around here, they are also keeping, and all the Swamis and the Matajis in America and Europe, as far as I know, each and everyone is all right. And again, by the grace of God and because of the present administration in America, things have taken very good shape. Each and everyone is now vaccinated, and everything is all right. Thank you for asking. And I pray that wherever you are, wherever in world, you also be safe, and a bright day will surely come. Again, we will meet in person. And friends, I like to tell you, announce one thing, that we are going to, now this time, the World Parliament of Religion is an organization which was formed after 100 years of the real parliament where Swamiji gave the talk, is in 1993 in Chicago at the Parliament of World Religions. And here, as present, I am one of the trustees. There are many trustees. One of the trustees, and I represent Hinduism. And there, I have got an opportunity to present Hinduism for 4 hours. It will be on 17th. I will send out the flyers. But friends, you have to register. If you are from India and the Asian countries, the charges are half. It is $25, almost equal to 1,700 in Indian rupee. And in America and Europe perhaps, it is $50. So if you like to join in different Swamis, not only our order, from the Tantrika order and from other the Yogic order, they will be all speaking and different aspects of Hinduism. Hinduism that embraces each and every one, and how Hinduism can heal, how Hinduism can serve. They will be very interesting 4 hours, and details I will reach out to you afterwards. Thank you very much. Let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Om Shanti, 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat.